Can you describe 996's culture that's, I believe you could say, invented in China and adopted in Silicon Valley? What's 996? It's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and
6 days a week.
6 days a week. What is that? 72 hours? Okay. So what is this basically the standard in AI companies in Silicon Valley? More and more this kind of grind mindset?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not exactly like that, but I think there is a trend towards it. And it's interesting. I think it almost flipped, because when I was in academia, I felt like that because as a professor, you had to write grants, you had to do, you had to teach, and you had to do your research. It's like 3 jobs in one, and it is more than a full-time job if you want to be successful. And I feel like now, like Nathan just said, the professors, in comparison to a lab, I think they have less, like even maybe pressure or workload than at a frontier lab,
I
because
think they work a lot. They're just so
Yeah.
fulfilled by
Yeah.
like working with
Okay.
students and having a constant runway of mentorship and like a mission that is very people oriented. I think in an era when things are moving very fast and are very chaotic, is very rewarding to people.
Yeah, and I think at a startup, I think it's this pressure. It's like you have to make it, and it's like it is really important that people put in the time. But well, it is really hard because you have to deliver constantly. And I've been at a startup. I had a good time, but I don't know if I could do it forever. It's like a interesting pace, and it's exactly like we talked about in the beginning. These models are leapfrogging each other, and they are just constantly like trying to take the next step compared to the competitors. It's just ruthless, I think, right now.
I think this leapfrogging nature and having multiple players is actually an underrated driver of language modeling process, where competition is so deeply ingrained to people, and these companies have intentionally created very strong culture. Like Anthropic is known to be so culturally like deeply committed and organized. I mean, like we hear so little from them, and everybody at Anthropic seems very aligned. And it's like being in a culture that is super tight and having this competitive dynamic is like, talk about a thing that's going to make you work hard and create things that are better. So I think that that comes at the cost of human capital, which is like, you can only do this for so long, and people are definitely burning out. I think I wrote a post on burnout as like I've tried in and out of this myself, especially trying to like be a manager of full mode training. It's a crazy job doing this. The book Apple in China by Patrick McGee, he talked about how hard the Apple engineers worked to set up the supply chains in China. And he was like, they had saving marriage programs. And he told in a podcast, he was like, people died from this level of working hard. So I think that it's just like, it's a perfect environment for creating progress based on human expense. And there's going to be a lot of the human expense is the 996 that we started this with, which is like people do really grind.
I also read this book. I think they had a code word for if someone had to go home to spend time with their family to save the marriage. And it's crazy. Then the colleagues honestly, okay, this is like red alert for this situation. We have to let that person go home this weekend. And but at the same time, I don't think they were forced to work. It's really, they were so passionate about the product, I guess, that it is you get into that mindset. And I had that sometimes as an academic, but also as an independent person, I have that sometimes. I overwork, and it's unhealthy. I had back issues, I had neck issues because I did not take the breaks that I maybe should have taken. But it's not because no one forced me to. It's because I wanted to work, because it's
that's what
exciting stuff.
OpenAI and Anthropic are like. They want to do this work.